Okay, all right. So we're going to create a Google AI Overviews Network Visualization map. It's a pretty simple process, and then we can add more complex layers on top of that if we'd like at some point. But for now, we're just going to build the base visualization. And I can talk through that a little bit more in terms of the value and how it helps bring a lot of the story of ranking and AI overviews to life. But we'll start with Ahrefs. And we'll just start with a domain. I'm going to use Subaru in this case. I used a different example before, but you can just pop in any domain you'd like. Do a quick spot check to make sure that there's at least some AI overviews, otherwise it won't visualize anything. So at least have some activity in AI overviews. And then on the left-hand side under keywords, we're going to go into organic keywords. This will show us all the keywords that this domain is ranking for. I'm going to just tighten this up a little bit just so that we get a little bit of a faster visualization. So I'll filter down to the US, show the results. That'll bring that list down. So it's fewer keywords here. I'm going to add a feature to only look at the SERPs that have AI overviews. So I'll filter down to that. That'll also then bring that volume down. So these are all the keywords on Subaru.com that are showing AI overviews. Now I want to filter this a little bit more, and I'm going to remove any of the branded terms on here. And this is just going to make the visualization a little bit faster. You could keep branded terms. It'll map automatically to the branded entities. It's just going to be a huge chunk of a network visualization because many sites have a massive number of branded terms. So this will just kind of help keep things a little bit clean and fast for this process. So what we end up with is essentially all the keywords that Subaru.com is ranking for, where an AI overview is showing. You can see that in the SERP features by the reference to AI overview. And then we also see this little icon for AI overviews. And what this means is that in these particular cases where this is showing up, Subaru is showing up in the AI overview themselves. So this will basically be our yes, we're showing up. And the SF, where it says AI overviews, is basically saying, is there an opportunity to show up? So if there is no icon, then we're not showing up. So this will all come to life here in a second. We're going to export. We'll export to CSV, but you'll see in the visualization, we're probably going to move this to Excel to be able to drop it in. We'll open this up. All right, now we need to do a little bit of cleanup here. We don't need a lot of these fields, so we're only going to keep keyword and entities. The SERP feature itself, we don't need because we filtered already to AI overviews, so we know they're all AI overviews. We don't need a lot of these previous and kind of traditional SEO metrics and paid search metrics. I don't need traffic, don't need current paid search. So we're just going to cut a lot of this, and just bear with me. We will clean this up quickly. We're going to cut all at the end, and I'll explain what we're left with. And that might be an easier way for you to clean this up once you're working with the data. Okay, so we do need a current URL inside column, and we need the current position. All right, we don't need the previous stuff. Okay, so these are the 5 columns we're essentially left with. And this is telling us that here are all the keywords, here are the entities. This is basically the nodes, the circles, and the edges is what connects the nodes to the center. The center is going to be the entities. This is what everything is essentially going to group into. We have our volume, which is the size of the nodes. So this is how we get the bigger circles versus the smaller ones. Current position, I keep in here. I am not actually using this for the visualization at all, but I think there could be an interesting thing to associate here into the visualization. So I kept it in here. It's because then I can just prompt it because the data is in the back end. And this is the key one, right? Is the current URL inside. So basically, these are the no's where there's no reference to AI overview. And where it does say AI overview, these are the yeses. So this would basically make the node turn green. And if it's basically blank, it'll keep the node as gray. All right. So once we have this, we are going to save this and then we're going to upload it. So I'm going to just drop this into a quick folder. I'm going to save it as Excel and I'm just going to call it Subaru AI Overview Network. Okay. Next, we're going to open up a tool called Po. So po.com. So Poe, what it is, it's an aggregator of LLMs. It's a really great place to test. Just if you want to test a variety of LLMs all at once, Poe is a really good environment for that. What I really like is that you pay a kind of a one-time monthly subscription fee, but then you have access to all the LLMs that are here. Because in the bottom you can see we got GPT 5.2. We also have all the latest ones from Gemini and Claude. And as these models are constantly being updated, they're all getting put into Poe. Oftentimes, I find that Poe has the latest faster than some of the tools directly. Because, sometimes when GPT or like OpenAI comes out with these latest models, you have to be a pro user and they even throttle the access at the beginning. Poe tends to get them pretty quickly. So I always find that a great place to start. So at the very top, once you have this set up, you're going to go to Gemini 3 Pro. This is the model we're going to use. And the prompt we're using here is pretty simple. So it says, help me visualize this keyword set. I'd like you to build a network map of keywords connected to a center entity and where each node is sized on search volume. And when AI overview is present under the current URL inside column, then put the node in green. Some misspellings here. If not, put it in light gray. Allow me to turn certain entities on and off. That's it. So we're going to hop back into Poe. We're going to paste this in, and then we're going to upload our sheet and drop that in. And this is going to then in Excel. I don't know if we can upload CSVs directly into Poe for Gemini 3, but if it does, great. But I found that Excel was the only option available. And that's it. And we're going to run it. And then we're going to let this do its magic. So we'll come back to this in a second because it takes a little bit of time. Go grab a coffee, a tea, and I'll talk to you in a second. Okay, on a quick side note, as we're waiting for Poe to load, I did try this as well in Google AI Studio. So if you don't want to go the route of Poe, you can go aistudio.google.com/apps. Just make sure you have access to Gemini Pro 3. And then just put in the same prompt and then upload. I think here's the CSV. So you have to save it to CSV and then upload it here. And it's producing a pretty good visual. So what we see here is, again, the blues are the entities. So if you look at the entities, well, I did like the other visual a little bit more in the dark mode, but if you hover over this, you'll see this kind of small little black box show up here as your legend or your key to kind of show you where these entities are. And the other thing I liked about Poe is that it actually, when you clicked on these, and we could probably prompt this back in, but when you clicked on these, it would actually highlight the entire path. So you could see how everything was interconnected. So when Poe comes up, we'll take a look at that as well. But this is a pretty powerful visualization as well, too. This is interesting. I wonder what everything is clustered into here. Oh, it's an uncategorized category. But it's cool because we can see really quick all these keywords that are uncategorized and then where our visibility is. I guess it doesn't make much of a difference there because it's uncategorized. But let's take a look at another one here. Let's zoom into this cluster. This is I think this is the cruise data still. So here we can see this particular port, and then we can see we have visible here on some larger volume keywords, but there's also some larger volume keywords as well too that there is no visibility in AI overviews. So there's still some work to do here on these bigger circles. Particularly, this is really where I would start to concentrate my efforts, and that could be things like improving some of the kind of semantic chunking of text assets on the page. That could be working kind of new entity mapping. There's a variety of things on the AI search side without getting into too much controversy here in the video. But there's a lot of things you can do to kind of improve this and turn these little circles or big circles green, but map back to the entities. So we'll stop with AI overviews here, but it's nice to know that you can still create this there. And I do like that you can just toggle these on as well too. These are all the entities, and then you can toggle the visualizations on or off here just to kind of zoom into it. So this is cool. You can play around with the colors too. You just prompt that in. So that's the beauty of this is you can just kind of build it from here and then publish it and kind of use it how you would like. All right, so we're going to hop back over to Poe. Poe is still thinking. So we'll pause the video and then we will come back in a second. All right, so it looks like our network map is complete. We'll go to, and this is in Poe, by the way. We were talking about AI Studio before, so just to clarify, this is back in Poe. Can go into the full screen mode. I did ask it to create a dark mode as well too, just to be able to toggle back and forth. You can see the broader map as well, or jump into specific nodes. You can see that there is a lot of opportunity here. There's some visibility on this uncategorized entity map, but as you stretch out, there is a lot of white space here for positioning in AI overviews. A lot of opportunities. Now the volume isn't great on many of these because you can see by the smaller nodes versus some of the other ones that are a little bit bigger. But yeah, certainly some stand out here as you kind of play around with this. So from here, you can really just keep prompting and adding on features as you'd like, or you can ask for some customizations or ask some different features, toggle on and off certain things, but lots to play around with. But for the most part, you have your visualization map created. One of the things I've been thinking about adding is a keyword search feature, and then also maybe some of the other the other SERP components as well too. So I'd like to not just know when AI overviews are present, but maybe when some of the other SERP features are as well too. Like maybe it's people also ask, because that creates additional opportunities for AI overview. Since when you expand those, there could be some AI overviews in there as well. So there's a lot more to go from here, but hopefully this is useful. Play around. Let me know if you have any questions on the LinkedIn comments. Cheers.